Hi, everyone. You're welcome to Let's Discuss, where we talk about practical things that impact on our faith and Christian journey. Let me start off the. Okay, yeah, now we're live on Instagram as well. Um, have you. We're talking about a topic that is so important, that is so dear to me. And it's a topic I have to learn from as well, which might be funny for a lot of people. But people who are close to me know that I need to do more on this subject, which is why we have brought in a subject matter expert to help us with today's topic. Many times when we're about to post on social media, many of us will think, how will people receive this? Will this be good enough? What will people think? Will this be too preachy? This be too exposed? At times we fear backlash, we fear people saying things. And for some people, they just fear, if I post this, I'm not even sure anybody is going to listen. And whilst we are thinking about that and delaying all that, you're just scrolling, hoping that there's a way you can express your faith online without feeling weird or fake, without making noise into a big black hole where there seems to be a lot of noise and people operating in that area. If that's you, there's good news today because you are not alone. I myself am still having to navigate that, and we have someone in the house today to help us talk about it. Um, Before I introduce our special guest for today, I want to emphasize that please wait till the end of today's session. We've never done this on Let's Discuss, but there is going to be something special, a very unique opportunity. Don't miss out. Make sure you wait till the end, towards the end of today, to be able to take advantage of it. So let me invite our special guest. He's a social media strategist. He's someone that revitalized the Unbox Sprays brand. In fact, it took it from zero to something that when we look back, we think, wow, okay, yeah, these things have done well. He's a social media expert, specialist. He's well sought after, well regarded. He's led a lot of training programs professionally. People follow what he does. I really respect what he does, and a lot of people respect what he does, even within our community. And want to, even though we're related, but there's something about him that I find compelling, even though at times he will say he's learning from the experience. But there's something I've found about him. He's like an old head on young shoulders. His level of maturity, foresight, and drive for quality and excellence is has been matched by very few people I have known. So you're welcome, Mide Olubi, to Let's Discuss. I know you've been here a few times in the past, but welcome again.
Thank you so much.
Mm.
It will always be a privilege to share the platform with you
Mhm.
and to share with people also. I believe this will be a learning point for everyone, both myself and everyone on the call. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Um, let's start with the topic. I think this is a very important one. There is the old way of thinking, which is I remember when social media began to gain prominence, there was a lot of adverse, there was a strong adverse reaction towards social media from the church. I know a lot of church leaders saying, don't go on social media, it's a waste of time, don't go there for anything. And now there is now hardly any church that doesn't have an online presence or active social media presence. Um, just wanted to ask you around that what do you think? I know COVID may have been responsible, but what do you think is behind that shift? Why has the church sort of changed the the position towards don't go on social media to now being an active participant in social media?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for the question, and I think it's very fundamental. We even start from there because when we think of it, the church is usually the last to get to print now, but that wasn't it from the initial let go. When you look at the history of print, it was the church that was in the forefront of you know the print technology, printing. It was the Bible that really pushed Martin Luther, the reformers, everything was in the forefront of that technology. But now we are now kind of laid back, where anytime anything comes, we are the defensive part, always careful, super careful. It's a tool of the devil, it's corrupted. Anyone who is doing it, we are super careful. We don't want to be contaminated. And we are aloof. But I think the church is getting to realize that if the Bible says go into the word and preach the gospel, we are not going to go into the word where the word is not in. It is where they are that we have to stay. So if the conversation has moved from physical to digital, it is just essential for us to be where they are. So there is a prophecy, I think is in Habakkuk. It says, as the water covers the sea, so is the knowledge of the glory of the Lord. It has to take over the earth as the water covers the sea. So how will it happen if where the knowledge is, there's no knowledge of the glory of the Lord there? So the knowledge of the glory of the Lord is important in those spaces also. So we can't stay back and allow the word to keep pushing narration. I follow some accounts and you see them talk about marriage. And you'll be wondering why we don't have Christian perspective around marriage. People saying a whole lot of rubbish.
Yeah.
And you will see comment and like, wisdom. And I'm like, really? Like, and we ourselves we are careful. If you see somebody who is sharing content, like how many years in marriage does he have that is sharing content on marriage? We are the one attacking our own people because we don't see ourselves there. We don't think we are good enough to be there to share. But someone that has a very corrupted ideology around marriage is there shamelessly sharing, and everybody saying thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. And someone who is 1 year, 2 years in marriage is not qualified to share. So we are our own problem, and the church is getting to realize it, both as a corporate entity, as individuals, that we have to be part of the discourse. If I go to my bus stop on Monday now, I stay in Lagos, Nigeria, and I hold a megaphone and I'm shouting, receive Jesus as your Lord and Savior. Before you say receive, I have passed you. The Lord and your Savior is another person that is hearing it. It is no longer practicable. It is outdated. The message is the same, but the channels have shifted. We have to learn to be where people are. So our he said, go into the world and preach the gospel. Start from Jerusalem, move to Judea, Samaria. The uttermost part of the world now is on the internet. That is where they are. We have to move down there and also occupy. We have to occupy that space also for God.
One of the things, and I think I'm not alone in feeling this, is that a few people would feel social media is like shouting into a crowd, is like a public place. And when you're sharing your views, not everybody agrees with your views. And at times we feel self conscious because your view that you're sharing may not be the popular one. And at times we have also seen it done badly. We've seen some fake posts that could seem very judgmental, or performative or holier than thou, and nobody wants to be that person, which is one
Mm.
of the reasons why some people are feeling let me not do that. There's enough people. who are doing that. How do we get over those objections? Because some people as well will tell you the third instance that you need to have your personal life on social media or your personal life separate from social media, which means in some cases, well, I know that some organizations will Google people and check out what they've said on social media. And as a result, some people would feel, let me not put my faith on display because I don't know if my personal and professional life would sort of like clash in some way. I even had people call me and tell me that as well, that don't do that. Don't let your personal and professional life. I said, but who we are shouldn't be performative. So how do we get across those objections? Because I know a few people have raised those sort of like constraints to me.
Mm. So I think where we have to start is we have to start redefining things. So when you read the story of Paul that was stoned for what he said, now imagine the stones are comments now. You might not get the real stones, but the stones are now people's comments on your
Mm,
faith.
mm,
And the idea of having personal life, professional life, marital life is not the Christian life. It's just one awesome life. So at work, I'm a representative of Christ. I don't have a separate life from each other. I might not
yeah,
go to work and be shouting Jesus, but I
yeah.
have to look for a way in which I have to be a reflection of Christ wherever I go to.
Mm,
It has to be an awesome thing for us. So I have people I mentor who are sharing content online and they are not sharing Christian content in quotes. But there is a strategy to being known that people will be asking that there's something different about this guy that
mm,
does this, but he's not doing it the way everybody does his own thing. He has values. He has
yeah.
things. So if let's say now currently I run a digital marketing academy, I don't go there and and say today's class is on salvation. I don't do that. I don't.
Mm,
So we have to one embrace who we are in Christ. Like I can't be going to heaven and be shy or be timid by the person who is going to hell. Like, and you want to intimidate me?
mm,
I have eternal life. I'm not shy
yeah,
about it.
yeah.
I have the life of Christ. I'm loved of God. So
Mm,
it's not something to be shy about. It's something to be bold about. And we
okay.
see when it comes to there's this man is the immediate past president of African Development Bank. Is at the peak of what some people will ever aim to be.
Yeah.
African development, but he's not shy. He talks about God anytime he wants to say, "Oh, what's your success?" Said first and foremost, there's nothing I can do without God.
Wow.
Jesus, it. Then he talks
Wow.
about every other thing else. So we have to be bold. We have to understand that when we talk about persecution in this time, this is what persecution looks like.
Mm,
He brought the disciples and said, "Don't talk about Jesus again." Say they flogged them. They said, "Who are we supposed to fear? Is it you or God?"
wow. Wow.
And they went to thank God and went back again. So the comment of people should not shift our grounds away from what we know we should say. Now, does that mean that we should be spooky? We should now become, holier than thou? No, no, no.
Mm,
Speak in the language people understand.
yeah.
And where you can be wrong is you can ask questions and you can tell your stories. You can
Yeah.
never be wrong. When
Yeah.
I tell you what happened to me yesterday. It is what happened to me. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what happened to me, what shifted my life. Your personal story will always be powerful. Some of the most powerful evangelism we saw in the Bible are people's personal story.
Yeah.
Paul sharing how he encountered Christ.
Yeah.
You can never be wrong. And if you ask questions, if I meet you and like, so what do you think about this? So if you're thinking of what about this, questioning their own ideology and they are thinking like, oh, true. True, true. You don't if you are scared. But by the time you build a number of boldness, and we pray always all the time. Paul said, and God should give us boldness to preach
Yeah.
the gospel. There's
Yeah.
boldness that comes to preach the gospel. We have to pray for that boldness also, and realize that as large as it is still you cannot, humanly speaking, reach the, I think, maybe 3 billion people on Facebook. You cannot.
Facebook. Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. I agree.
The number of people we reach out to is limited. So our mindset around the exposure is exaggerated in a sense. So, but the another thing about it is now that it is powerful because the Bible compares the greatest amount of wealth to the soul of man. He said, what will it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? That means if you put the soul of man like this and you put all the wealth that Elon Musk has and put them beside, the soul of man weighs more than
Mm,
money.
yeah.
So there's illustration my pastor will make. He said, if tomorrow I tell you that I want to give you an option, you have $5 billion in your account, but you will not wake up tomorrow. Which one am I going to pick? Ah, let me wake up, my brother. Because the soul of man weighs more than 5 billion.
Mm,
It has made us feel like this is the game of number. If this program we have now is reaching out to 5 persons every week and their life are being changed, that's what a whole lot in the sight of God.
yeah.
That what we think. So Christians too are not looking at the numbers. We are not looking the way God is looking. He said he leaves the 99 to chase one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's God.
Yeah.
The one is important to God.
Yeah.
So if God gives platform, He gives you a message. It's an emergency. You have to come out and share. Don't get constrained. Don't allow the world to intimidate you. People are sharing rubbish with all boldness. I don't know whether we don't go through stuff. People are sharing a lot of
Yeah.
rubbish.
Yeah. Yeah.
The lady that said she wants to sleep with 100 people, and she went viral in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Guinness Book of Record. She went viral and she was bold about it on promiscuity. We
Mm,
have a better message, but we do not think we are too careful. We don't want to offend people. If the people of old didn't want to offend people, we won't get the message. The gospel will not get to us. We
that.
have to choose our path. We have to make a decision that this is where we want to stand. We can't be in the middle.
Yeah.
We want
No.
to stand for God, and we are standing for God totally. The conservative movement is rising in the US, and their voice is becoming loud. Some things that people could not say some 4 years ago, they are saying it boldly now. There are two genders. Before, if you say that, your neck can go for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But some people, because of their faith, they are putting their foot on the ground and saying, no, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And we are not going to shift our ground because this is what we think is right.
Yeah.
Whatever you want about that, don't. So if we keep quiet, our values, whatever we stand up, we keep going quiet in this world that we are. We have to add to the voice. We have to add. And another thing I think we do is that, okay, when God told me to help creatives, grow better, I know a number of creatives, that people that are doing the same thing. And I was telling myself, why will I join the number?
Mm,
Why will I start what everybody's? I want to do something new. And what God told me is that the number is not enough. The amount of corruption, the part of the justice like a shining light. It shines brighter and brighter. Light is shining. Why is light shining brighter? Because darkness is becoming darker.
mm,
So the intensity of darkness we have in the world is so intense. It is gross darkness. And there's more intensity in the darkness. So we need more light.
mm.
So if we have 100 million sharing today, we still need more.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the numbers, they have more numbers than we do currently because they started before us.
Yeah.
Many of them have acquired the followership, they've done everything.
Yeah.
So if we are coming, we can't we can't be conservative. We have to
Yeah.
go all out.
Yeah.
So the Bible say the gate of will prevail is an attacking strategy. It's not a defensive. When we read the Bible, we used to think the gate of hell shall not prevail. We are the one now stand there and say, hey, the gate of hell shall not. We are attacking the gate of hell cannot stand us because we
Yeah.
want to pull it down. Not the gate of hell coming towards us, and we are not the one saying that, oh, gate of hell,
Yeah.
please don't push on us. We are going to take our stand. we are on the attacking side, the dark side is on the defending side.
Yeah.
So that is the only way the glory of the Lord will take over the earth, as water covers the sea.
Yeah, no, thank you. I hope everyone, and please, everyone, feel free to share your thoughts and comments. Like we said, that the aim of Let's Discuss is to get all views and for us to have a conversation. There are a few comments that's been shared by Ngozi, my sister. So she said, the world is now on the internet and social media. There, we should share the gospel, agree 100%. And she went further on to point out that you can choose which information you share on which platform and who is allowed to see that. You have that flexibility. And I like what you've said, that we can't sit back in isolation. We can't say we are the invisible men. It's time for us to move. Then the next question now, oh, thank you so much, is how do we now move? You rightly identify that people have been doing it before us. How do we now move? And one of the things we have identified is that there's always, whenever topics like this are talked about, everyone identifies the issues, the problems, they stir up the hearts of people. But there's often a bridge between the reality and the aspiration. As people listening into this, how can they begin to do it? We've tackled the fundamentals, that it's something we need to do. That's the only thing Jesus has asked us to do, that we should, go into the world and share the good news. And as a Christians, our footprint should be about God. And you've given examples that you can share so many things, your story, your questions. How do we move ahead? I know some people will think, I don't have this experience. When I go on social media, I see all these people looking good. I see all these people with design skills. I see lots of how do I start and how do I grow? Because if I put something on my social media, maybe it's just me, or maybe the two likes will be me and logging into another account and and liking it. So how do we begin to move towards excellence as well? Because we don't want to be people who just share things that are sort of like average or below standard. How do we, start sharing and improving the quality of what we share?
Hmm. Thank you so so much for
Mm,
that. I think the best way to start is first become very comfortable with sharing online.
mm,
So before you start sharing ideologies, agenda, and all like that, just become comfortable sharing. You can start with commenting on people's posts. Just place intelligent comments. If somebody talk about something, share, or maybe somebody celebrating something, sharing their joy. Like we are not isolated from the world. So the only time you come online is when you have a message from the Lord to share to the world. No, with social media, like the word social is
mm, mm,
be relatable.
mm,
Like be relatable.
mm.
Celebrate people on their birthdays, celebrate their wedding anniversary. You see them with their baby. Oh wow, congrats. We love this. We are happy with you and all like that. Then maybe gradually go to posting your picture if you are not an introvert. You can start posting your pictures. Sundays, many of us will look all good and nice on Sundays. Start posting your pictures. Sunday pictures, maybe with captions that show your summary of what you learned in church today. So I have a friend that does something every Sunday. She'll do get ready with me. Nice, decent one. She'll be putting her earrings on, putting everything on. Not her clothes, she's fully dressed. She's putting her earring on, doing her gilly and everything like that, and talk about God. So this is something I learned, and now can be patient with yourself. You're doing well. As simple as that is, that's what someone needs that day or that week. Not to give up on themselves, not to commit suicide. You never know. You
Hmm.
never really nobody is going to listen to that and be, and every Sunday she does that. So it's just get ready with me. And some people just after service they snap with friends and families in church and they share. They share whatever they want to share using that. You're becoming more comfortable and familiar with the platform. That is what you're trying to do. You don't need a designer to do that. You don't need a video editor to do that. You don't. Another way in which I know people do it is that the your social media allows carousel. It allows you to post multiple pictures, especially on IG and
Yeah.
I think link. Now you can on each of these pictures you can write a message. They put something like a board, like a small board on it. You can use your IG to actually do that. You just create a small board and you write on it like you'd if you want to if you are familiar with posting stories on IG. When you want to post stories, you can write on the story exactly the same way. You can write your messages. Now you're wearing something nice, really nice. You did the first picture, you write, I just want to share something I learned or something happened to me. Yes, everybody life stories in this world. If I say everybody's alert, they want to hear what happened to him. I'll start with like I received 3 slaps from a soldier yesterday. You're 3 slaps. Now, and you're writing your story, simple story, not something complicated. You
Mm,
write the first paragraph, just 3 paragraphs you want to write. First paragraph on the first picture, second paragraph on the second picture. So when they swipe, they keep seeing your fine picture, which is
yeah.
the one attract to the real message you're trying to pass across to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are different ways in which you can do it. It does not have to be complicated. Now, I'm not saying that you should not desire for excellence.
Yeah.
So there's something called the embarrassment of entry. Is what kills a whole lot of people. This is not even just about social media alone. No, this career, all my meat have started since 10 years ago. Me, I'll now start with entry level now. The embarrassment of entry. Or, oh, I don't have a degree and I'm already 30. I can't pursue a degree now. My mate have done the
Mm,
degree 10 years. You will be 40 and you will still not have the degree.
yeah. Yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
be 50 with the degree. So the embarrassment of entry is always an issue for people. Say, I should not be starting at this level with
Yeah.
the kind of personality and all like that. We have to surrender our ego. The funny thing is that the day you start, you should have started 20 years ago, like one quote said. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The
Yeah.
next best time is
Is now
because in the next 5 years, you will realize that you should have started that 5 years
a
ago that
long
you're
time
supposed to, that
ago.
which is now.
Yeah. 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 Sorry, I
Exactly.
just
So
want to take a
the
break, a brief break, just to pass a few messages to people as well. So one of our beloved sisters released a new music called Silver's Banquet. It's a praise and worship medley. I'll share the link in the chat so that anyone can go and listen. She's anointed. Her testimony is really powerful. I would encourage people to go, and she's one of those people. She's called the Singing Nurse on Instagram.
wow.
She sings even wearing her uniform and things like that. Really powerful. I would share the link, and I want everyone to, support. Then there is also, just to encourage people as well, we do share a few things on our social media from Box Praise. Please feel free to go in if any of it resonates with you. Read, like, share. We have a great team who do some of the work, the graphics. So you can see this is like a poem. Someone who has a creative gift has done that. So just go to our social media pages, follow us, and encourage the work that people are doing. But before, I just want to mention as well, mention at the start that everyone should please wait, ensure you are here till the end. But I think we can start talking about it, because one of the things that attracted me to Mide as well is his heart to empower the the body, empower people. Most times people, when you get motivated, I'm sure a few people are motivated. If you're not motivated by what we've said so far, please let me know. we'll, I'll call you personally to remotivate you, because not in I'm not laughing about this. It's serious. We need to start sharing the light on the platform. Many of us may not know, one of the things AI does now is when people are asking questions about Christian religion and things like that, it scours through the internet, scours through
Mm.
different discussions. If your comments, your thoughts, your ideas are not there answering important question, there's a tendency that it would be feeding off the wrong information. And once it feeds off the wrong information, it has learned that it's not going to go back to relearn it. There's a need for us to be more intentional about this. And I want to, Media's also kindly said something. I would let him share that. But there's a big vision to take people from on the journey. I know it's overwhelming. A lot of you say, all these things saying IG post, IG story. I don't even know what to do about all that. All I know is to browse, check people who have done things and like. How will I begin to do all those things? How will I know what content to post? Um, I don't know how to do it. I need people to help to guide me. So I'll let you talk about that as well, which is a bridge between the motivation, because at times you get motivated that, yeah, I'm going to go across the river. But if you get to the edge of the river and there's no boat and you can't swim, you now begin to struggle. Please share a bit about the opportunity so that people can be aware of it as well.
Thank you so much, sir, for that.
Mhm.
So we have a community, um, yeah, of faith-based creators or people who are trying to start creating. Yeah, we started I think 2023, and yeah, every year we have something, and we are trying to actually grow out. And the idea is to support um regular normal people like you who just want to share their faith, whether share their faith as a what we call Christian creative, that you are sharing only about Christianity, or as a professional you just want to see how can I be light, how can I do better, share my work, but at the same time still portray Christian values through that. So we try to encourage people in the community, try to teach them how to be consistent. When I create video, I use like 5 hours to create video. I don't have that kind of a time. So we try to teach you how to batch create, how to create en masse, how to maybe use one day to create content that you need for 30 days. How, the big media companies create their own content for stuff. We try to help you do that. Oh, I want to set up a studio in my house. I don't know how to go about it. They say everything is very expensive. We try to help you with almost all those things. It's a community. You see other people. Oh, I'm looking for who to collaborate with. I do this kind of stuff, so I want to collaborate with other creatives in my stuff. You might likely find someone who does something similar to what you're doing, that is happy to collaborate with you, so that you grow better and that, like that. So we are starting something new this month in the community, and I feel like for anyone who is interested, they can just register, and someone will reach out to them on how to be part of the community.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I've shared the link in the box, and I would encourage everyone that please, this is a God-given opportunity, because iron sharpened iron. Many times we try and do things in isolation as Christians. We try and say, oh, yeah, I'm inspired to do this. Then you now have to start thinking, how do I know this? How do I? Then you now start spending a lot of hours trying to understand things when you can have a community that would help you. I'll be part of the community, and I want to encourage everyone as well. Please be part of this. It is time for us to create a revolution and begin to do things differently. There is no time. Before we discuss, we're talking about the fact that when, for example, this program, we have a few people watching, and maybe about 50 people will watch after this at their free time. And at times we get over 100 views averagely. But if I had a video with a woman shaking her bum bum or something, the views we would get would be hundreds of thousands or millions. And I don't want us to be discouraged that we're not getting views like maybe the comedy skits, the we just have to do what we need to do, and God will continue to bless us as He has said. Because of our time, there are few people reaching out to you, Mide. Some of your fans are here. I have one of our mummies here. I call her grandma as well. Um, you're welcome, Vasi. Thank you so much. All the way from South Africa. Um, we have Fetosi as well. Thanks. So he said, Dr. Mide. So these are people who know you. Then there's Adeyemi Josephine. Well, okay, hailing you as well. Okay, there are a few comments here. Okay, there's someone. Okay, one of my sisters as well. She said, "Wow, this is great information." And that's what we hope it is, that everyone benefits and starts to do something and change things around. Your story might be exactly what someone needs to hear, not the whole world, maybe just one person. But I
Yes, sir.
want to ask you a question as well. A lot of people would hear this now, they'll know we need to do this. They now know that there's opportunity and a tool and a community that will help them do this. What do you think would still hold people back? Because I've seen a few people in the past where there's an opportunity, they want to do things, they know they have to do it, they know there's a bit of support for them, but still they don't take that final step. In your experience, what is another reason that maybe we've not covered? Um, Maybe self confidence, I don't know, that prevents people from taking that step.
Well, I think one is the priority you place on it, how important you think it is,
Mm,
might actually be a big deal. So if you think like if you don't have a sense of urgency to the message that you want to push, you don't realize that in the next, okay, let me give you an example. If God is sending me to children now that should be sharing messages to children, a toddler in the next 5 years will not be a toddler again. I've lost that one for life. And my
mm,
message is supposed to be a toddler. So they won't always be there. So look at it this way. You're bringing people, and God, you learned how to swim. You can swim very well, and you see people drowning, and you can swim. But because when I went to go and swim, when I learned to go and swim, it's me and Uncle Ade that went to go and that learned how to swim. And he's the best graduating student in our class. And I feel like, oh no, me, I'm not really maybe I'm the second to the last. But all of us got certificate of, that we are credible swimmers. We are
mm,
certified swimmers. And I see somebody drowning. And he's in the UK, I'm in Nigeria. The person is drowning in Nigeria. And I expect him, because he's the best graduating student, because that's the way we think.
mm,
This We don't see the urgency. We don't see that there are souls and life behind whatever message that God is giving to us. We don't realize that we'll be accountable for our time. We don't realize that there are destiny and there's something attached to whatever God gives to us. He said He gave some five, some two, some one. And at the end, He came and asked them, how far did you profit with it? We don't think holistically that way. We feel like we'll always be here. Bible says we should redeem the time because all days are evil. This is how to redeem your time. You are making most of what you have. So you are seeing the urgency that if I don't do this in the next 5 years, I might not be positioned to do it again.
mm. That's
And
so true.
sometimes what you want to do, you just realize that there's some another person doing it, and it's God calling you.
Exactly.
It is practicable. Sometimes we
Exactly.
not God has not replaced you. God
Yeah.
is showing you an example, it's a prophetic example for you that what you're supposed to do, it is doable. That is some why
Yeah.
someone is doing it. It should encourage you to start doing your own too.
Yeah.
We don't have all the time on earth. Psalms 90 said, by the reason of struggle, our days are 70 and 80. Reason of struggle. The man that wrote that psalm, Moses, started his ministry at 80. It's a psalm of regret. He said, teach us to number our days, teach us to know, make use of our time. So there's not so much time like that for us to waste. We have to apply our arts to the path of wisdom now so that we'll not be writing Ecclesiastes like Solomon, saying vanity upon vanity. It is the life that is not lived according to the dictate of God that
Yeah.
ends up to be vanity.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes I just feel like we don't come to that realization of how important whatever we have to do. If you don't prioritize it, there's
Yeah. Okay.
nothing. Everybody's carrying you like this, you will be dropping because there's no inner drive. There's nothing within you that makes you feel like I have to count. Like
Yeah.
I have to count for God. Whatever I'm doing on earth must count too for God. I want to stand before the throne of God and be able to account and say, God, I did my bit. I spread the message. I shared it. And people are like, yeah, if not for him, I won't be where I am now. If not for this, I won't be where I am now. That is what it's about for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know how else to drive people. Like
Yeah.
God, and that day, God will tell you, I sent Okwade to you, I sent Midi Olubi to you. You did not listen. You had all the support you could, but you refused to just yield to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
This is the God has sent you all the resources. Just
Okay.
make use of
Okay.
it.
Thank you so much. We'll start wrapping down. There are a few comments I just wanted to post. So there was one from Professor Emeritus. Thank you so much. He said we need to share gospel responsibly with track records of godly living for it to be effective. Um, like we said, maybe this is part of the reasons. At times, people are afraid that, okay, maybe I'm not living the life. And if, for example, I'm not living the life and I'm now sharing Jesus saves. There was a story a pastor told us, and a lot of people said it was true. They wanted to do evangelism, and he had a passion for people who were prostitutes and call girls. And some people in the church went with him. Immediately they got there, some of the girls started greeting one of the one of the guys that went with the pastor that customer said the guy was so embarrassed and the pastor was saying, but you should have, you know, these people know you, why did you now
Mm.
still follow this through? This is a very important comment, and Gozi said it could still be personal, that what you post and reflect who you are. And the few comments say no time to waste, delay is dangerous. Um, yeah, seen heard these days. I've heard news of people who God just calls them home like that overnight. It's all over. We shouldn't waste time. So Sister Tony said it's a life that doesn't yields. Okay, a life that does not yields details to God. What that is vanity. Yeah, and I agree. So final question as we're wrapping up because our time is far gone. Um, how about introverts? You know, there's some people that they love the Lord, they want to serve God, but they just some of them may not even be on social media. Or even if they're on social media, there's no picture, there's no nothing. Um, for people who are introverts, who would just say, look, I just want to mind my own business, how will they go about this?
Okay, I get this all the time, and yeah. So when people say introverts, they say two things. One is that they are people. There are a lot of introverts in this world. When I start painting pictures of introverts, I start mentioning world leaders that are introverts. That's when people realize that being introvert is not a problem. Is
Mm.
that you're not just trying to do it. So you don't have to necessarily show your face. You don't. You don't have to do whatever anybody tells you to do on social media. You don't. And I can give you examples of people who don't conform to the norms of social media, the conventional that have followings, and people who enjoy their content. You don't have to. You can be yourself. And I
Yeah.
tell you, you don't have to be super spiritual at that level with you. And be honest. That's the key. If I'm the one that went to go and patronize like a brothel, and I'm not there to preach the gospel, I will be sincere. I'm sorry I came to you last week, but I'm a new creation now. It's a powerful message. But
Yeah.
many a times we want to put a cloak in front of ourselves to frame a
Be holier
spirituality that
than
we are
thou.
not.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yet, be honest with your journey. You don't
Mm.
have to be a pastor on social media. You can be midday the digital marketing strategist on social media. I struggle with my devotion. These are the acts I've been able to use to do my devotion. I listen to audios. That might not be as super spiritual as Unkwade does his devotion, but I have been able to act for myself. I listen to audio so that I can concentrate and be able to at least get the word of God into my head.
Mm.
I pray when I'm walking to work. I'm just
Yeah.
sharing my story. I'm not trying to be a pastor. I'm not trying to be anything. Right. Don't use your picture. Use another picture. There's someone
Yeah.
they call Leke Alda. Go and look at him. He has following. He really has his picture on the social media platform. He writes his thoughts. He writes letters. Letter to Jack, letter to Jill. A lady writing to a guy, a guy writing to a lady. He just was he's an introvert. He's
Mm.
creative about it.
Uh,
So do what is
Thank you.
comfortable. You don't be out of personality. Don't
Yeah. Okay.
don't be who you are not.
Yeah.
Don't
Thank
be.
you.
Don't be.
Thank you so much. I had three keys as well, which I'll share. Then I'll hand over. Then I'll hand over for you to share your final thoughts so that we can close. So there are three or four keys I've picked up. One is we start with a story. You can, like you said, start with this helped me during this that. Let's be real. Let's not, and you don't have to post every day. Just post when you have something that you want to say, and speak from experience, no expertise. Don't say you have to become a Bible scholar. I know someone who spent many years saying he wants to get ready, he wants to really prepare. Unfortunately, he passed on before he was fully ready. There is no one that will be fully ready. You just have to start. And you can put things like, "Oh, this Bible verse helped me today. I've been learning to trust God in this." It's about your journey, not about perfection. You
So,
know, just be there for people. You don't need to broadcast as well. Just you can reach out to people. You can just say things. Don't feel there's a need for people to like. In fact, there are some family members that they don't even pay attention to what I do. We need to ensure that what we are doing is not to have the applause of men. uh,
mhm.
and let's not feel bad that you are not good enough, no matter your position, because God has invested in you even before the creation of the world. You have something. Ephesians 1 6, if anybody doesn't know that, go and read it. It says God has already invested spiritual gifts in us even before he created the world. So you have something. Courage means there will still be fear. You just have to act even with the fear. So I'll hand over to you. Just wrap up, final comments, and we close for the day.
Yeah, I think you said it all actually. So start with what we have. Start where you are. You are
Mm,
enough. You don't need any additional information. Life is a journey.
mm,
Share your journey with people. Nobody will crucify you for what you have, and
mm,
what you have is enough. In the Christian faith, if you're a Christian today, you can win souls that same day, because what you know is enough. Just be sincere. Look at the woman at the well. She just shared, come and see the man that
Man,
told me.
exactly.
It's not as if I have four husbands though, and they will be judging me. No. So he even told me about my four husbands. Just be sincere.
Yeah.
And what you have is the phone you have is good enough. No matter the phone. I've seen people argue this with me very well. It is the embarrassment of entry that is always the issue.
Mm,
Take away your personal ego. Start small. Then start growing. Start growing. Start growing. When you look at it 1 year, you'll be embarrassed by what you did last year. That is fine.
mm,
That is how it should look like. If you are not embarrassed by your stats, you are starting late already. So
mm.
just start with what you have and start now. I will even say start tonight. If possible, share something this night
That you
with people.
learned.
They've not
Yeah.
slept. Yeah, it's the devil that is telling you that people have slept by now. They've not slept. They won't sleep till around 2. Share it tonight. If they don't see it tonight, they will see it tomorrow morning. So just share,
And
and
free
be
free to tag us. So
yes,
yeah, so God can use your post, your caption, or your story to plant, seeds of faith. You may not see those seeds grow, but it will grow. Like Midea said, take courage to click share. Share something you've gained today. Break the ice. Your light is not meant to be hidden, not
yes,
behind a screen. God has not created you to act invisible man that nobody sees. It's time for you to allow that light of Christ to begin to shine. And you can always tag us. You can always share with us if you're releasing albums, releasing songs, doing anything. Tag us. We've shared the link to the community. Please click on it. You now have the tools to help you go from the point of inspiration to a place whereby you can inspire people, and God will make it happen in Jesus' name. Thank you all for listening. Thanks, Mide, once again. This has been an explosive session. I've gained a
thank
lot,
you so
and yeah, I will be applying this myself. My social media is so dead. I don't think I've done anything, and yeah, and would like to see other people in the community to also support me so that I can have people encouraging on, and that's what would happen if you join the community as well. So thank you, everybody. Have a great week, and remember to post tonight and tag us in. God bless you all. Thanks. Bye.
In a world divided, a new call rises. The Carpenters Movement.